Afghanistan is once again in the headlines, but this time not because of the Taliban. In September 2025, US President Donald Trump suddenly gave a statement that America should take back the Bagram Airbase. This statement caused a stir in Washington, Beijing, Islamabad, and Tehran. Let's start. If you like a map animated videos related to focus on geography. Because if you have heard the name Bagram, then you know that this is not just a common runway. This is a place that once gave America great control in this area. When America left Afghanistan in 2021, many people said that this is the end of America's control in this area. But why is this air base so important? In today's video, we will see where the Bagram Air Base is, and what America has done because of it, and how its return will not only shake Afghanistan, but the whole world. We will also see that if America takes over Bagram again today, how it will change the balance of power in Asia and the whole world. And also, can America really take back control of the Bagram Air Base? So watch this video till the end, because whatever is in this video, it will change your thinking about this air base. So, let's start with geography. Bagram Air Base is only 40 kilometers north of Kabul, located in the province of Parwan in Afghanistan, in the middle of the Hindu Kush Mountains. Now on paper it is just an airport, but in reality its location is a geopolitical goldmine. If you make a circle of 1,500 kilometers around Bagram, then in this circle, Western China, even China's Xinjiang province, some parts of Iran, many parts of Pakistan, and even the center of Central Asia will be covered. If you increase it a little more, you will also reach the important areas of Moscow. This is the reach of Bagram Air Base. It was the largest base in America in Afghanistan, in which more than 10,000 soldiers could come. It had two runways, which were more than 3,000 meters long, on which cargo planes such as B-52 bombers and C-17 could easily land. For America, it was not just a base, but it was a gateway through which it had access to South Asia, Central Asia, and the Middle East. The story of Bagram is centuries old. It was first made by the Soviets in the 1950s, and in the 1980s when they attacked Afghanistan, this base became their hub. Soviet soldiers, planes, and helicopters used this base to fight the Afghans. After 9/11 in 2001, when America attacked Afghanistan, Bagram soon became America's crown jewel. America expanded it and transformed it into a fort. There was a time when there were more than 40,000 soldiers in Bagram Air Base. In War on Terror, it was America's nerve center, from where drone operations, intelligence missions, and special forces deployments were carried out in this entire area. Bagram was not just a military hub. For the Afghans, it was a sign that as long as this base is there, America has control here. For Washington, it was proof that America's reach is everywhere in Asia. But in August 2021, America's sudden departure from Afghanistan proved to be a big turning point. This base went into Taliban control, and that too without any fight, and all the analysts started saying that now America's control in this area is about to end. But why is this base so important? The first reason is its logistic power. Bagram was like a big warehouse where ammunition, fuel, medical facilities, and spare parts were stored. Due long runways, cargo planes could land here in bad weather and even at night. That's why the supply of American soldiers never stopped. That's why America was able to stay in the most difficult country in the world for so long. The second reason for the importance of this base is intelligence. America could launch ISR missions from Bagram, which meant intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions with the help of drone satellites and radar stations. Here America had collected data on some parts of Afghanistan and Pakistan, Iran, and even Western China. This base became the center of cyber and electronic warfare, due to which the Pentagon could keep an eye on the whole of Asia. The third reason was the symbolic value of this base. Bagram was not just a name of radar and runway, it was a message that America is present here, and it can keep an eye on Central Asia. And as soon as this base was left in 2021, this symbolic value of America also ended forever. Now let's say America takes control of Bagram again. Who do you think will be the most worried? Without a doubt, it would be China. Bagram is only 1,200 kilometers away from Xinjiang province in China. This is China's most sensitive area, where Uyghur population lives in martyrdom. Movements continue. American drones and spy planes from Bagram can keep an eye on China's western border. Chinese military operations its trading, and even railroad traffic. And there is more to this. There are many missile and nuclear-related facilities in western China, including test ranges and support sites related to the PLA rocket force. Because it is so close, America will get a chance to keep an eye on China's missile units and even the army. This will give America a chance to directly monitor sites such as Lopnir, where China used to conduct nuclear tests. So in short, because of Bagram Air Base, America will have complete visibility of China's western part. This base will also put China's Belt and Road Initiative in danger. Beijing has made heavy investments in roads, rail and mining projects in Afghanistan. So if American forces return to Bagram, all these projects will become vulnerable. From China's perspective, it already feels surrounded. Because Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, Guam, and the Indian Ocean are already American bases. And if America returns to Bagram, this encirclement around China will become tense. So for Beijing, the US flag waving again on Bagram will not be just a headline. Its Western military districts, Belt and Road projects, and some parts of its nuclear and missile infrastructure will all be under US surveillance. For Pakistan, Bagram will have mixed results of America's return. Relations with Pakistan's Afghan Taliban have already deteriorated. Islamabad has sent hundreds of thousands of Afghan immigrants back to Afghanistan, and according to Pakistan, the Afghan government is also involved in the terrorist attacks here. And after all this, relations between the two countries have become very tense. Similarly though, Turkham and Chaman borders have not only been closed several times, but checkpoints have also been set up there, and firing has also been done from both sides. In this environment, America's presence in Bagram can put pressure on the Taliban to keep their fight under control and tighten the border, which can be beneficial from Pakistan's point of view. But on the other hand, this will also reduce Pakistan's influence. For years, Islamabad has played the role of a bridge between Washington and Kabul. If America returns to Afghanistan, Pakistan's role will end. It will also be beneficial to have such a close American base that surveillance on the Durand Line will increase, and cross-border militant networks and smuggling will also be reduced. But this whole thing will be very complicated. This will also create chaos in national politics, because the return of the American military in the neighborhood will instigate anti-American emotions, and can further complicate relations with Pakistan's China, Gulf and West. Then there is another danger. Taliban can once again give a tough time on Pakistan's northwestern border. And if tensions rise on this northwestern border, then the existing PET network, which includes roads, tunnels and energy links, can also be targeted. So for Pakistan, America's return here is neither a nightmare nor a win. In the short run, it can be so beneficial for Pakistan that it will reduce cross-border militancy, but the existing anti-American sentiments in Pakistan can create a lot of problems for it. And then Pakistan's bridge role between the Taliban and America will also end, which will reduce its leverage for air. On America return to Bagram will put pressure from the eastern side, the side that Tehran has always ignored as safe. Fear a majority of air defense and military planning is focused on the Persian Gulf and the Israeli coast, not with Afghanistan and Pakistan. Towards this long border, if American forces return to Bagram, then Iran will have to keep a close eye on this eastern border. Bagram is in the reach of Sistan, Balochistan and South Kashmir, as in these are the provinces where Iran is already worried about smuggling, terrorism and border crossing. From their American drones, spy planes and electronic listening gear will be able to keep an eye on Iran's eastern highways, rail lines, military drills and missile units. Similarly, America will be able to keep an eye on Iran's entire weapon development. Politically, America's return to Iran will hurt Iran, because Tehran has built a relationship with the Taliban on the issue of water on the river Helmand. But America's return to Iran will ruin all this. Economically and strategically, Iran has deep relations with Russia and China, and is bringing foreign investment in the Chabahar port and east-west transit routes. American-based foreign investors in Bagram will be more cautious about projects from eastern Iran and western Afghanistan. Perhaps this will not stop trade, but costs and risks will increase. And Tehran will not want this at all. Militarily, Iran's response will be very predictable. It will put more radars, air defense batteries and drones on the eastern border. and it will also increase cooperation with Moscow and Beijing. So the presence of America in Bagram can pose a question mark on Iran's trade projects with Russia and China. Now if we talk about Russia, Central Asia has always been its backyard. Moscow considers itself to be a security power in countries like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. It has 201 military bases in Tajikistan. In Kyrgyzstan, the Kantar base is under its control, and the CS to Russian bloc is also led by Russia. If America returns to Bagram, the situation can change a lot. Russia is already under pressure due to the war in Ukraine. It now has less soldiers and money. With the American presence in Afghanistan, Moscow will feel that it has fallen between America and NATO in the south and west. America's surveillance operations will come very close to Russia's southern military districts and supply routes from Central Asia to Russia. Russia still remembers its old defeat in Afghanistan, so if America returns to Bagram, it will not only be a problem for Russia, but also a matter of shame. Moscow's influence in Central Asia is already decreasing. China is already spending a lot of money here and increasing its influence. Therefore, the countries here do not only depend on Russia. If America also returns to Bagram, Russia will have to compete with two big countries. One is China, which has the power of money, and America, which has military power, and Russia's security provider image. Russia is afraid that terrorism and drugs from Afghanistan will not reach its neighboring countries, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. It is also concerned about the protection of hundreds of thousands of Central Asian workers working in Russia. If America returns here, Russia will use it as an excuse to tighten its control on the Afghan border and increase military drills with its neighboring countries. By doing this, it will keep its military grip strong in this area. America's return will also spoil Russia's economic plans. There will be obstacles in the trade routes that Russia is making with Iran and Central Asia. Projects will become expensive and investors will run away, and all this will spoil Russia's efforts through which it wants to avoid Western sanctions. The impact of America's return will not only affect Asia. In fact, there will be a message for NATO and other European countries that America has returned to action on the global stage after years of silence. In the Middle East, America's dependence on Gulf countries' military bases will decrease, and its flexibility will also increase. And globally, this will be proof that America can show its strength again in the center of the world, that is Eurasia, which has always been considered the key to control the world. But it is not easy to recapture Bagram again. There is now a Taliban government there, and they will not return the base to America until a new war is fought to end their government, which will cost America a lot politically. In addition, American ships will have to pass through Pakistan or Central Asia to reach the base. And these countries will not allow it easily and will ask for its price. America's old logistics network is also now over. Then people in America also do not want to send their army again after 20 years of war. And America's friends in NATO will also be reluctant in this regard. Then there is also the threat of groups like ISIS, which will immediately target American troops. So is it really impossible to recapture Bagram Air Base for America? Practically, yes, it is impossible, until there is no major change in this area. But still, it is important to talk about it. Just by mentioning the recapture of Bagram to America, other countries get worried and start thinking about their policies again. Like China will be worried about its Xinjiang province and trade routes. Iran will start thinking about the eastern border. Moscow will feel pressure in Central Asia, and Pakistan will be forced to rethink its control over the Taliban. So in simple words, there is little chance of American troops returning to Bagram. But the fear of this happening will cause a stir in this whole region. If America really gets Bagram back, then a new era of American power can begin in the world. But this can also start a new Cold War in Asia, in which Afghanistan will again become a battlefield among the great powers of the world. You like today's video, then like it and share it with others. See you in the next video with another interesting topic. Take care. Allah Hafiz.